Hey everyone, John Inner here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a wave short here on the Dow. So first target's coming off at 17,948. Stop is in place right there. That's fine. Secondary target's going to come off front running there at 17,924, and then the final target, if we can get that push a little bit lower, is 17,800. Let's just do 17,900. Nice little century mark there. So the overall way that we're setting up here is we're coming into the 9 o'clock hour. We're still before the open, but we're just setting up a little bit of a deeper wave. The initial wave itself, I mean, you could be looking from this point down to here, and that may very well be another wave as well. If you draw that one up, you can see we're kind of a little bit later to that one, which is why I don't like it as much. It's just not working out as picture perfect. But what it does look like is we're setting up a deeper wave for a nice little pullback here, and we're actually coming in directly smack right into that trigger zone area, and we're getting some rejection. So this rejection here is really piquing my interest. So I like this short trade. We're short 4 contracts at 17,966, and because it's only $5 a tick, if we get some more continuation, I might throw on another position here at 17,966 again, just to get a little bit more on the table here, because I do like how this is looking, but I would like to see a little bit more confirmation before we go full size on this one. So looking for contracts so far at 966. First target's coming off at 17,948. If we can get that one hit, we're looking at 18 ticks, 2 off at 18, so it'll be 36. The next one underneath that, looking at 17,924, that'll give us 42 ticks, possibility of a pretty big move there. And then the continuation move, if we get all the way down to 17,900, we're locking in 66. So overall, what we're looking at here is, for the total trade, 144 ticks. Now, it is $5 a tick, so it's $720 if we can lock that all in. But again, you know, if we go in a little bit heavier, then I will be looking to add a little bit more to the position. But right now, we're just looking down to 17,900 and just a standard, typical wave pattern. We are getting a little bit more. We're kind of coming back to retest that level at 17,974. If we turn down again, I wouldn't mind adding on a little bit more here, just to see us come back off that level, because they are kind of coming back, and you can see them sort of coming back to retest that trigger zone again. So another move down, that has my interest peaked. I'm going to leave another order here at 17,966 just to add a couple more contracts to it, and see if we can get that pushed down. And you can see they're kind of rejecting off that level. So everything looking really, really solid. We've got more contracts on the table here. Let's move those back into position here. There we go. And there we go. So running a full-size lot now at 8 contracts. Again, it's $5 a tick, so this just makes it $10 instead. So this allows us to get kind of a double up in the position. We're seeing confirmation of really what we want to see here. Everything's looking great. So looking to the downside here, first target 17,948. Once we get that hit, stop will go to break even just like normal. There's no reason to kind of mess around with the stop this time. Everything is setting up pretty standard here. And then as we fall a little bit lower, we're looking to the next target, 17,924. And then after that, we're looking down to 17,900. I like that 17,900 just because it's a good solid number. You know, the market really loves those types of numbers. You know, you've got another big one would be 1,800 right here. The market loves those kinds of numbers. 17,900, 17,800, 1,801, you know, 18,100. It's a big fan of those types of numbers, those big century marks. Now we are dipping below 18,000, so it is a kind of a big deal. We're finally dipping underneath kind of a big area here. So if we see continuation, we might get a pretty decent sell-off here. But we're in full size here, 8 contracts, looking for the first target, 17,948. So we'll be back in a little bit, see if we can get that follow-through down to the first target. All right, now we're starting to get some good follow-through. Hit the target. There we go. We got the fill. So we got the target filled here at 17,948. So now because we got the target filled, we're going to move our stop to break even. So stop is at 17,960. It's supposed to be 965. There we go. And now we're just looking for continued movement to the downside. Everything's setting up just exactly the way that we want to see this set up now. And just looking for a little bit more continued pressure down. We got the first big target taken off. That's the big piece. That's the one that we needed to get taken off the table. So we're sitting kind of pretty, you know. So looking for the next target down, 17,924. Looking for that farther continuation. So far we've got 18 ticks locked down, 4 contracts now. So again, because we kind of doubled up on size, 18 times 4 now, so there's 4 contracts getting taken off there. We've got 72. We've already got the profit locked in that we did beforehand. We've already got the 72 ticks locked in that we were looking at for kind of the half of the full trade before. So 72, we're looking at 42 and 42 since we're taking 2 contracts off there now. And we're looking at 66 and 66 on the final one. It's at 288 ticks if we can get all these filled. Now again, $5 a tick, so we're looking at 1440 on the trade. Good number, 1440. So we'll see if we can get that pushed down, continuing this move lower. Everything is looking really, really solid now. There could even be a possibility of a follow-up wave pattern if you wanted to get a little spicier and add a little more to it. Looking at around 17,955 for a follow-up move. So see where it wants to go, but looking for the final next target, actually, not the final one, down at 924. All right, so we're seeing that continued pressure to the downside here. That wave pattern did work. It was a little bit early, so I wasn't a big fan of adding onto that one. But what I can do is lock my stop down ahead of this swing if you did take that as a wave pattern. So we're looking for our next target here at 17,924. We're coming close, 2 ticks away. So we need to see a little bit more of a push here so we can get that 924 filled. Now, if you did take the other wave pattern, we're testing it. Tested 924, see if they can get it filled. If you did take this as a wave pattern, you're also looking to take your profit down at 17,910, and that's kind of the next area there. So just got some more profit taken off. Beautiful little move down here. So far, so good. Everything is looking beautiful to the downside, just lining up perfectly, and we're looking, if this one works out as well, this might just be another wave pattern short. You could be looking for another follow-up pattern down and looking at around 17,939 for a follow-up. We've been seeing these patterns all the way down ever since when it turned down this morning at 4:30. There was one there, there was one there, there's one there that we're in right now. Everything just looking beautiful. So continuing the downside, stop is locked in at 17,956. Actually, I'm going to bump that up one more, 957, just to give us a little bit of a buffer. And then looking for continued movement to the downside. So we'll see if we can get that next push down. The overall target's coming down at 17,900, and that's kind of the big area that we're going to be looking for. That's the next kind of 100 mark, 17,900. So we'll see if we can get down there, but we're looking good. We got, with 2 contracts left on, we've got 39, 38 ticks or so locked in. Just looking for that farther push down, see if we can get that next little blow off there to get that final target. All right, so we got another chance to lock our stop in a little bit closer here. So we're going to lock the stop in at 17,943, just above that last little wave pattern that fired off. If you did take that one, it was a little bit closer, but since we've already got this full ride down here, I'm not super interested in adding on more. You could, but you're taking off profit right now on that wave pattern if you did take it. So looking for 17,900, we're not too far away, only 5 more ticks to go. Because we are edging in on this, I am tempted to lock my stop in a little bit closer here. I don't want to give any of this move back. So I'm going to get my stop down to 17,927. See if they can push down here. We're coming close. When we get 1 tick away, I'm going to lock my stop in for sure. I don't want to give anything back at that point, especially not if we're 1 tick away. Everything looking good. Let's see if we can get that final push down. We're getting there. We're getting there. We came down to 1709. There we go. So stop is, oh, no, we don't have to move it. Beautiful. I love those that you don't have to move the stop because it fills you too fast. Gorgeous move down. I really don't think you could have added a better setup. I mean, everything worked out absolutely picture perfectly. Nice little bit of a bigger wave pattern. Just more of a, a deeper pullback since this one was a little bit of a small pullback. You can just kind of view this as one big one. Nice little pullback there. Got us into the trade. If you missed that one, you could have followed up with that one. You could have followed up with that one. Just several opportunities on the way down to make money with this big old move. Overall, that locks it in for us. 288 ticks to the downside, $1,440. Can't ask for much more than that. Beautiful trade. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.